and welcome back to the internet's #1 podcast on public library recommendations and wholly priceless collection of Estrusian snoods. This is episode 204 of the internet's most talked about podcast, the most unfunny podcast around. We are the Not Funny Guys, and this is Not Funny Guys presents Off the Reels. I'm Casey, and the two men joining me today are Dr. John and Eric. Let's talk about Batman Mask of the Phantasm, shall we? How's it going, gentlemen?
All right, how are you?
I'm doing all right.
Encountered a lot of nudity this week that I did not expect.
That's what happens when you go to a nude beach.
No, that's what happens when you watch TV shows and a movie and it just immediately like, okay. So I just got to watch Aubrey Plaza and Margaret Qualley being naked post-sex, and then the unexpected one was Margot's got money problems. I watched the first episode of that, and Elle Fanning is like full frontal.
You realize that you shouldn't watch that show with your children? You clearly do not read up on television.
I did. No.
You know she's naked in every episode.
Really?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, well, that was just something that did not...
He's like, now that is what I'm going to binge all day long.
Well, I actually do want to watch it because it looked like an interesting premise, and I like Michelle Pfeiffer, and I was like, that was not something I was expecting, and I'm like, okay. So you're stepping your English teacher. Got it. Cool.
And if you want to add on another one, just watch Euphoria, because Sydney Sweeney's been doing all this stuff about how she went full frontal
I don't care.
Euphoria. This show that's all about drugs and sex.
That would not surprise me, though.
That the show's about drugs and sex, or
no? But because it's about drugs and sex, I would not be surprised by like full frontal nudity.
Oh, okay. You weren't expecting full frontal on an Apple TV show.
It was mainly I was caught off guard, and I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Well,
no, I was watching it by myself. Thank you very much.
I would hope you were watching it by yourself. I'm certainly not watching it with my children, although my children don't find that interesting anyway.
My children wouldn't even stay in the room if I was like, I'm going to watch this show. And they're like,
They'd be like, money problems? That's old man shit. And then they would run off.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's about how it goes. They'd go off to the Shelbyville, where they get their beet juice.
What?
Watching Simpsons.
He's an old man losing his mind.
Shelbyville, Springfield. Instead of lemonade, they drink beet juice. There's a whole episode on stealing the lemon tree.
You know, if you want beets, you could just ask Dwight Schrute in The Office. He had a whole beet farm.
I don't like The Office. I hate going into The Office. Why would I watch The Office? But all right.
Welcome, folks, to Casey's dementia decline here, just like the president.
There's no dementia decline here, baby.
I already went up. Frontal lobe shrinking?
No frontal lobe. I had that removed. I didn't need it. That and the 2 ribs.
Well, you have no impulse control.
What's impulse?
Exactly.
What have you been watching this week, Dr. John? What have you been watching?
Well, just hinted at 2 of them. Honey, Don't. I watched that film. I will say, as a one of the Coen brothers was involved in it.
There's only one, right?
It didn't quite stick the landing,
isn't it?
It's Ethan. Yeah, it didn't quite. It was interesting, and there's a lot of sex in it. Like a lot of sex and a lot of people dying. It's very noirish in the fact that like Chris Evans is a scummy preacher. He's having lots of sex. Everybody's dying. Yeah,
right.
Doesn't quite stick the landing. It's an interesting movie. The third act kind of falls apart a little bit for me, and then The Hunt for Red October.
Are you doing all the Clancy's or just that one?
No, I was just doing that one because I really like that line that comes from the admiral on the carrier saying this will all get out of hand, and it's how I feel about everything that's going on in the Strait of Hormuz. Feels very familiar.
The Strait of Iran, as
whatever
as the president calls it nowadays.
Yeah.
All right. I've only seen The Hunt for Red October once in my entire life. I watched it,
really?
6, maybe 7 years ago. I realized that my dad had most of the Tom Clancy's on digital, and so I was like, I'm just going to watch them in order. I should be very specific. The Jack Ryans. So I watched them in order. And it is very weird that there's multiple Jack Ryans, but whatever.
Well, I will say that the best ones are honestly Clear and Present Danger, Patriot Games, and this one. They are the better Tom Clancy adaptations.
I didn't mind the newer ones.
Okay.
The
Shadow Trainee or whatever.
Yeah, I didn't
And
mind the
there's the sum of
Affleck
all
one,
fears.
and I think I think when I did this, the
Chris
Damon
Pine, I
one,
think, is the
or
last one.
the Pine. I'm sorry, I don't think Pine had come out yet when I had watched them,
Okay.
but it was fine. They had the new one coming out soon, so because they're doing
Okay.
the new one based because the TV show that everyone's in love
Yeah.
with, they're making a movie for that TV show because
Yeah.
they're like, there's something here, and this guy likes to print money, and we like to print money, so let's make more. I need to watch this. I hear that show's really good, but it's not my favorite genre, but whatever.
Yeah, I'm more of a if it's in a movie form kind of genre myself personally. So
I don't mind TV shows. I watch lots of TV shows, as you all know, because I subject you to having to listen to all the shit that I watch. But that's what it is. Eric, what have you watched this week?
I don't think anything besides the movies at hand. We did finish the TV show, finish binging it, How to Get to Heaven from Belfast, I think is
Nice.
the official name.
Yeah, I knew you were watching that.
Yeah, it's really good. It takes some crazy turns, but it's a lot of fun. Definitely had no idea what I thought at the beginning of it was completely blown up by the end of it.
Nice.
Um, so I would certainly recommend it. That was the only thing I think I watched. Yeah, I don't think there
Yeah.
was a ton else. Well, the other thing I watched because I didn't have time to watch movies. The other thing I watched at night this weekend was WrestleMania. But that took up 2 nights.
That
That
did
took
take
up
up
some
two
of my movie
nights.
time. And so you can go and find that on our other podcast
That's right. Go
that Casey
find
and I host.
the almost, well, I think it was about 3 hours worth of content combined when you combine the two for
Hmm.
WrestleManias, which is longer than there was actually wrestling in the 2 nights of WrestleMania.
Hmm.
And if you want to hear that rant, check out Wrestling with the Horror of It All this week, because boy, are you going to get that rant all over again from me because I was very upset. No, I agree with you on that. And then have you watched Raw yet?
Yeah, I
Okay,
did
so
watch
that
Raw. It
also
was
sucked
good.
up some of your time.
Nothing. Yeah, well, I mean, we'll get
No, we'll
into
talk
it,
about
but
it
yeah,
later. I just didn't.
yeah,
I know that sucks up time. That's a lot of content right there.
yeah.
All right. Well, I don't. Did I watch it? I wanted to watch a documentary. I thought about buying a documentary on iTunes yesterday, or not on iTunes, on Amazon. But then I saw the price. I was like, I'm not paying $20 for this documentary, so I
what's
did
the
not.
documentary?
Age of Disclosure. I really want to watch Age of Disclosure, and I don't feel that it's worth $20. I would have done 15, but.
You see
Um,
that new one that's coming out about crypto?
No, I haven't
What's
seen
his
that
name?
one. No, no idea. I did go see Lee Crowan's The Mummy, which is one of those movies I told Eric after I saw it, I was like, this movie's not for you. Although then I discovered that it's part of the Evil Dead universe, and then I was like, hey, Eric, this movie's gonna be for you at some point in time. Um, Eric, I think I like this. The more I've thought about this movie, the more I think I
Hmm.
actually might lean more towards positive liking it. Um, I think it's
Really?
one I definitely need to see a second time. I think it's one of those like in the moment.
Is
It's
this because you found out it's part of the
no, the evil deadness of it all. I already kind of I got from when I saw it. It's just thinking about it and the fact that they went in a direction that I didn't think they would go because it's a really bold choice the way they ended
Mhm.
the movie, and I really appreciate when movies can do that. And it's just stuck with me and kind of haunted me. John, the premise of this movie, and you're never going to watch this movie, is a family,
Hmm.
mother, father, and two kids, an 8-year-old daughter and a 6-year-old son, I think. They are living in Cairo, and the daughter gets kidnapped, and then mummified, essentially. And then 8 years go by, and the daughter is found, and now the family is living in, I think, New Mexico, and they have a new daughter who's now 8 years old, and then the son's obviously grown, and so they are trying to find out. Hey, well, they got their daughter back. They're trying to help her, but they're also trying to figure out what is the mystery of what happened to her, and it is actually a pretty good mystery thing once it gets to where it is. The movie trailers do not really show you what this movie is, but it is really a possession movie. kind of
Mm,
like Exorcist meets Evil Dead. And the reason I say it is not for you is A, you have a daughter.
yeah.
And so having to watch, because the dad witnesses the kidnapping. So it's not like it just happens. So you have to sit there and watch that trauma.
Mm-mm.
They make you watch a video of what happens to her.
Yeah, I'm good.
And then obviously it's just a possession movie about a child. Now, granted, she's 16 at this point, so not much better, but still, you are watching this. And then stuff happens to the rest of the family. So there's a lot that goes on. It is definitely not a you movie for sure.
No.
But I do appreciate how
Wait,
they
so when you say they make you watch what happens, make you watch her getting mummified, make you watch
all
what
of it.
the captors do to her
The captors, once,
otherwise?
so a quick spoiler, sorry, if you don't want to hear about Lee Crowan's The Mummy, just tune off for like a minute. Starting now. The when they make you watch it, the family record the people who did it record so that later generations can understand how you need to mummify to do the process that they're trying to do, why they're doing it. So
Okay.
there's a VHS of it. Eventually, when the cops find it, they watch it and then they have to show it to the parents. So they make you, as an audience, watch it with the parents, having to watch what happened to the daughter.
Which is mummification.
The
And basically
mummification,
the
She's not alive
mummification
anymore.
process.
I'm
all
What?
right,
sorry. If you
it's
mummify
not
somebody, she's not alive.
The way they're
She's something
mummifying, they
else.
are mummifying her alive. It's like a whole process. Trust me, it's intense.
I'm just weird. I'm weirdly like confused primarily because I'm gonna find myself annoyed by the fact that they're doing it while she's alive. And I'm
Yeah.
like, that doesn't happen until you're dead, and there's a whole ritual to it.
There's a reason why they have to do it
Uh-huh.
while she's alive. It's part of the whole possession piece
Oh, okay.
of what they're doing. Okay, audience, come back. So
all right.
anyway, for Dr. John, it is definitely one because I know you particularly do not like
Yeah,
things
I
that
don't.
involve children. Um,
No.
I know a lot of people don't enjoy things that involve children like this. That's why that doesn't happen often in movies.
Woman
But
in Black was really one of those films that was kind of. Mm,
yeah, a lot of possession movies like to use children, and I think that's just because possession stories, a lot of times it is a child that gets possessed.
yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, in a possession story, the child does make, or in a possession movie, the child does make it out alive. So I think that also helps people pull themselves out, is like, at the end of this, the child will probably be okay, most likely. Anyway, I just wanted to mention I saw that, and then let Eric know that I'm leaning toward. The more I think about it and analyze it in my head, the more I'm leaning towards kind of liking it. I also this week I watched a little bit more Justified. I was doing that, picking up on Simpsons. Obviously, I was talking about Simpsons a second ago. Just the last episode I watched was Who Shot Mr. Burns Part One. I don't know if I can figure out who did it, but maybe you can. I'll get on to that. It's my job. I'm chief of police. No, you. Yeah, it's a whole weird bit that they do there in that episode. But I did watch the first episode of Kara Swisher Wants to Live Forever, and I highly recommend that show. Um, it is
Where she
her
talks to a
base.
bunch of weirdos.
The premise is she doesn't like that all the tech bros are doing all of this stuff with AI and technology to try to make themselves live forever, and they want to keep it at a high cost.
Hmm.
She wants to show what they do, and then ultimately she would love to change the world where the costs are brought down. One of the examples is they basically found a cure for sickle cell. They basically
Yeah.
found it. It only costs you $3 million. And
Oh.
that's just for the drug. That is not the cost you have to pay for the hospital stay, the chemo, the rehab, all of that on top of it. And it should be a free drug, or at least a low cost
Okay.
drug that can be done. And she doesn't like that the tech world is doing it. And she even calls out, says, if Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg had sickle cell, guaranteed that would have been cured a long time ago and free at this point.
Yeah.
And so she's calling out all this stuff. The first episode is focusing heavily on the crazy guy who keeps doing all the experiments on himself to try to make himself younger.
It's
And
not
so
the one who's like exchanging his blood and his son is doing
yes,
it too. Is that guy? Okay, yeah.
yes. So she goes and talks to him and does a really good interview because she's a really good interviewer. And then she shows the um, Steve Jobs' Stanford commencement speech where he talks about
Yeah,
death.
yeah.
And then she showed a clip later, one of his last interviews, where someone in the audience asked him, is there anything that you would change about that speech or add on? And his response is, I would amplify it and make it louder so that more people could hear it and understand, as he was
Hmm.
starting to come to terms with his own mortality. And then she goes and talks to his son, um, and does a nice little interview with his son. She does try ketamine in it. She says that because all the tech bros do ketamine, and
Yeah,
there's all
yeah.
these theories that it makes you younger and things. She's like, I can't do this without understanding what this is. And so the guy was, he was about to administer it. He's like, so have you ever done any kind of recreational drugs? And she's like, no, never. She's like, I don't drink and I don't do recreational drugs. And he's just dumbfounded. And she's like, am I a unicorn? And he's like, yes, actually, you are. She hated it.
I
She
bet you
did
did.
not like ketamine. She said it made her feel like she was in an out of body experience and it was very isolating. And she did not like that isolationist feeling. But she understands now why all the tech bros do, because it can pull them out of themselves and make them watch themselves in this like really weird narcissistic way.
You know, the only one I've ever really, I'm not ketamine, but I've always had a strange thing about doing ayahuasca.
All right, well,
But that's Josh Gates's fault, actually. So,
that is probably Josh Gates' fault. I can see
yeah.
that. Anyway, I recommend. I only watched the first episode. 2 episodes are out of Kara Swisher Wants to Live Forever, and it was really good. She's a really good interviewer, and they did a really good job of editing this and telling the story she's trying to tell. So I definitely recommend
I do
that.
like Kara Swisher a lot
Yeah,
as a just as like a personality, someone
mhm.
who kind of comments on the news, even if she's not always reporting it.
Yeah,
Her burn book is
She has
really
good
good.
insights.
yes.
You know who also has
I
good
want to read
insights,
Burn
John?
Book.
You've probably seen this, but Casey had recommended actually. Every week, it's starting to feel like Katie Couric does a live broadcast on the Bulwark. This time she had JVL, who's another regular, and Bill Crystal, who's also a regular, but Bill Crystal has a lot of political history as well
Yeah.
with Republican side.
And his father.
But it's a great. Usually it's about an hour long live stream or so. I don't even think they do commercials as part of it or ads, so you really get the full thing. At least I did on YouTube, and it's a great just conversation. Like it really is just a lot of, well, what does this mean? What does this mean? And like Katie Couric's really try to explore not just what the news is today, but what
Mhm.
it actually means in terms of our society, in terms of how we approach things, and also, of course, somewhat predictionary of like, what does this mean both for
She
long
plays
term,
the
but also,
everyday person.
yeah,
Plays
she's,
every
Yeah.
person who has walked into this, whatever the world is today, and like, okay, please, somebody tell me what's happening.
Yeah, she has gone on to Pivot. Anytime Scott goes out of town, Kara gets other people, the guest stars, to come in and do Pivot, and she's been on Pivot, and they've talked about her because they like that she's what she's doing over there with the Bulwark, because they
and you
talk
cut
about the
out. I
Bull.
think we lost your mic completely.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Is that better? Is that better? Can you hear me?
There you go.
But I mean,
Uh,
I like,
Now I can't hear you. Are you okay?
I was just relating the connection to the latest
Uh,
episode of Red Dwarf Rewatch, where Lister has a perception filter put on him where you can no longer hear and then no longer see his other crewmates.
huh. Sorry, folks, for
Similar to what you're going through.
the small hiccup there. We were having some technical difficulties out there, so if it sounds a
hiccup,
little
hiccup, hiccup.
wonky for a moment, that's okay. What I was saying is, um, the Katie Couric has been on Pivot before. They talk about
Yes.
the Bulwark quite frequently, and whenever Scott's out of town, Kara will get different people. So, like the last time Scott was out of town, they brought in Anthony Scaramucci, who's actually a lot of fun to listen to. Kristen Solstice
The mooch.
Anderson, who is one of my favorite pollsters and one of my favorite Republicans. I really like her a lot.
Mm.
And then Rahm Emanuel was on there recently. And I
I heard
found
about
out
that.
that Rom's brother I think it's Ezekiel, likes to just run up to Kara Swisher and be like, "Fuck you," and then run off. And he, like sent her like a voicemail. She goes, "It's the voicemail that I have saved on my phone. Anytime I want to be cheered up, I just listen to your brother tell me to fuck off." And then
There you
he
go.
was on Real Time with Bill Maher I'm catching up on that, and after watching him, because I'd never seen him in person, I'm like, oh, I totally buy that he does that. That is exactly what it does. And she had said on the last episode of Pivot, because she was on Bill Maher last week, that because Rom was on with her, Ezekiel was there, and she's in the dressing room getting ready, and he just runs in and goes, "Fuck you," and runs off. And you're like, what is going on with this old man? He seems amazing. I want to read his new book. It's something called "Ice Cream is Healthy for You" or something like. It's about the joys of ice cream. And he was talking about how ice cream is actually really good for you, even if you have a type 2 diabetes. It's still actually good for you, and it's counterintuitive because something about the milk balancing out the sugar, the way it works. He goes, it's actually pretty good for you.
I'm actually aware of that. That's why I still enjoy ice cream.
Yeah. So
I'd like to get a doctor, to weigh on that at the same time.
Hey, you know what,
no,
Eric?
but he is a
I love
doctor.
ice cream. It's mentally good for me.
No, but
by no means.
well, he talks about that too. It is mentally good for you, but he actually is a
Yeah.
doctor. He's an oncologist and something else, and helped make Obamacare. During the interview, it was actually really fascinating because he says, "Yeah, Obamacare is broken, and we need to get rid of deductibles. Why should you have to pay a deductible for something? It's there to make you not get health care."
Yes,
He's
it
like,
is.
he's like, I'm an oncologist. If I tell you you need to get
He's not wrong.
chemo, why should an insurance company go, that's not a necessary thing? I'm the doctor. I'm telling you it's necessary. You should not pay a deductible because I'm telling you it is necessary.
Because insurance is a scam that was created to make money off you being sick.
That's what he talks about. He also, Bill Maher, of course, asked him about like alcohol. Is alcohol good for you? And he goes, well, yes and no. And Bill's like, well, I like it. He goes, well, it's
Shut up,
good when
Bill.
it's there for being a social lubricant. If it's a social lubricant, it's good because the number one thing that we need in this world to make you healthy is friends. And so
I
you
don't
need
need
to be
Bill
able to
Maher's
loosen up
opinion
and
on
be
anything,
and
particularly
be
since he
friends.
has a second house where he goes down to his basement to record his stupid podcast where he gets high. Okay?
I do not see anything wrong with doing a podcast high.
Yeah,
No,
calm
but I'm
down
just
now. Hold
saying,
on.
he literally has an entire
Don't make
second
me stand up for
house.
Bill Maher here.
No, I'm just saying he has an entire second house so he
That's
can
okay.
basically throw parties. I'm like,
But a lot of
whatever.
rich people do. At least
Must
he's
be
very
nice.
vocal about like, I'm fine with paying more taxes. I should pay more taxes. I don't pay enough taxes. So at least he's very fair in that.
He's
And I
every
know you don't
conservative.
like
He's
Bill,
every
so it's okay.
conservative's favorite transphobe. So
Yeah,
It's,
I will say this. I've fallen off of favor with Bill Maher, but it's not because he has a house and smokes weed or a second
oh,
house.
I
and
don't
smokes
either.
weed.
I just think he's just a decadent asshole.
Oh
I,
yeah, I mean I could agree to that, but aren't we all?
I like Bill. I do think he's a good
Ain't that American,
interviewer.
baby?
I do think he's a good interview. As he's gotten older, I don't agree with some of the things that he says. But I
He gets
really
sloppy and
applaud.
lazy is part of it. And then when he gets high with people in those podcasts, it
Oh, I
gets
don't
really
mind
awkward.
I don't
It
mind
gets
the
really awkward
highness
when he's
that
trying to like
part.
interview you and he's like stoned out of his mind. It's like,
That I don't
really?
mind. That's rather amusing. But what I was gonna say is that I applaud him for the type of guest he gets. Like he gets Republicans to go onto his show. Now, granted, they're there to try to win over liberals, but he gets them, and he does ask them hard questions at times.
So
So
does
I
Piers
appreciate
Morgan,
that.
but I don't like Piers Morgan.
Pierce Morgan is such
The
a,
hack.
as I say, he's such a dick. I can't get past a lot of those things. At least Bill gets interesting people, and people seem to like him because of some of the people he gets. And it's introduced me to a lot of interesting intellectuals that I had never heard of. So I appreciate that. Anyway, that said, I watched Kara Swisher Wants to Live Forever. Highly recommend that show. It's really good. And I need to finish The Pit. I got one episode left. I need to finish it. So,
Okay.
all right. Let's talk about some stuff, shall we? Let's do it.
Yes, let's.
Eric's like, please, please, for the love of God. Let us talk about some trailers first. There were a bunch of trailers that came out because of CinemaCon
Porn
that had
convention. Porn
just
convention.
happened.
Oh, sorry.
Not a porn convention.
Oh,
That's
it's
next week.
CinemaCon, not Cinecon. Okay.
That's CinemaCon. Look, we're trying to get our
Skinnicon.
passes to go to CinemaCon. We think we should cover it, Pornhub, we do a special on you. We actually should apply for that now that I think about that, saying that out loud.
I'll get a lot of autographs.
Yeah, I'm
People
sure. I'm sure our wives will really sign off on that one.
Hey, you know what would be great?
immediately.
I'll get a lot of
It's
autographs.
Off you go. We'll
podcast.
see you.
Hey,
Have fun in
look.
Vegas.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna get a lot of. I'm gonna get a
I'm
lot
gonna
of.
apply.
I'm gonna get a lot of signatures from people I've only seen naked. So
Have fun storming the porn
I
castle.
would like to just do some. I would just like to do some interviews. Quite honestly, I'll be like, so when you run these stats and you find these things out, do you guys get shocked when you see some of the statistics that come out?
Oh,
from,
you're
like,
gonna
the different states?
you're gonna go. So John and I want to go and like interview the porn stars. You want to go interview like the date administrators on the back end.
Why else do you think we should apply? We have
He's
to
like,
do real
Dear
interviews.
Pornhub Central Operations Team.
Look, if I could secure a sponsorship, I don't care. So,
you think Cash could get us into the poodle room?
anywho,
I don't want to go to
let's-
the little room. I've seen clips of that. No, thank you.
Okay, let us please, for the love of Pete and Pete, talk about some trailers. Let's talk about the first one, the last one I showed you, Hungry. Did that move the needle for
Oh my
either
god,
of you?
that's so stupid.
No.
I was like, it took a second. I saw that the title on the YouTube was like Hungry, and I was like, no, this isn't.
Look,
and
That's
then it
why I
was.
responded back with yes, yes, it is. It is a hungry hippos horror movie.
No,
I mean,
that only
it is
works for me if those
Anaconda
people are
in
all
New Orleans.
rich. Those people all have to be rich, and that should be in Cairo.
I feel like
Should be Cairo, yes.
I feel like we're gonna have to watch it, Casey.
Well, I'm not kidding. I want
I
to
feel like
find
it's
out.
gonna
If I
have to
don't
be on the
find
list somewhere.
Eric, if I don't
agree.
find out that everybody in that movie is like a billionaire and like a 1%er, it's not
kidding?
worth it to me.
No one in that.
They've
Wait,
definitely got to be super rich.
None of them.
do you mean the
looked-
characters or the actors?
Oh, I'm just saying the characters need to all be.
Okay.
They should have all been super rich people. That would have been funny.
Okay, I'd be fine with that. The
Yeah.
actors, I'm like, no, this is by no means do I expect anyone but someone struggling to get their big break to be in this movie.
I want
Oh,
it to be a critique of
absolutely.
capitalism. Come on.
Googly moogly. All
I
right.
know. So anyway,
So
Hungry.
stupid.
I had never. Sorry, there's some Spider-Man Noir stuff that's breaking. I was just trying to see if it's worth covering. It's not. The trailer looked amusing enough for me. I'd never heard that movie till yesterday, and now I must see this movie. Scary Movie 6. Did you like the new Let's Poke Fun at Michael Jackson trailer for the Michael Jackson movie?
I mean, I'm always excited to see Kenan Thompson, right? Yeah,
Kenan
Kenan
Yeah.
Thompson in anything. I hope he stays on SNL forever. I mean, that is his bread and butter. That I grew up watching him on all that and being
Yeah.
like, he's going to be on SNL one day. And then he was, and that felt like a dream come true for both like me, the little kid watching and all that, and loving the idea of like kid improv essentially, or kid
Mhm.
sketch comedy at least. And then seeing that graduate with me into adulthood was also, highly enjoyable. And obviously, Good Burger stuff, comes into play with all that too in my childhood.
From
So, yeah,
Scary
I was
Movie to a Keenan appreciation talk.
I am a little curious to see how clearly Scary Movie is going to spoof the
A lot of
movies,
things.
and not just the scary movies.
There's a
Though
lot of new stuff.
maybe there's an
Yeah.
argument to be made that the new Michael Jackson movie is a horror movie of its own sort, and so that's the part of it. So now I don't know that this necessarily moved the needle because I was already pretty firmly willing to see it.
Yeah.
I guess the only needle move at this point would be whether or not I'm going to go to the theater, and this didn't necessarily push me into the theater yet.
I'm hoping that whole Michael Jackson stuff's not in there, that they literally just made that trailer just because the Michael Jackson movie came out.
It's the falling down the stairs that makes me think it's got to be somewhat in there because that doesn't feel.
Maybe
That
that's
feels
our,
like a
maybe
separate-
maybe we literally caught the cold open.
Well, it's one thing to, that actually is probably very true. Because I think that it's one thing to show like the studio bit and have that be commercial.
Yeah.
The falling down the stairs makes me think there's something else plot wise, or plot wise when it comes to a scary movie that this could be a part of. So I'll be curious. I am going to see it, but not necessarily because of this trailer.
All right.
Didn't
I will
turn me off.
probably
How
have
about
to
that?
watch it because we can't do wrestling with the horror of it all and not probably talk about that movie.
No, I feel like we're going to have to.
Acme versus Coyote, or Coyote versus Acme. I don't know.
I've only heard stories about the kind of the issues around this or the fallout and the hiding and things like that of this movie.
I'm only interested in this film for the middle finger to Warner Brothers.
So they had
I'll be
filmed the
honest with
movie.
you.
they filmed the movie, and then Warner
Uh-huh.
Brothers, when they were doing the whole, we'll write it off and get a tax break like they did Batgirl. This was one that they did. There's a third one, but I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. And so everyone was like, "Oh, you're not going to do it." Then the actors got very vocal about how amazing this movie was. They had already done test screenings. A lot of stuff started to come out. It really pushed Warner Brothers' hands, and then eventually it was
Mhm.
saved, but it was sent off to Catch Up Studios to put it out, which they are. And I love in the trailer they basically give a middle finger to Warner Brothers,
Yes.
which is pretty great. And it looks fun. I'm here for this Roger Rabbit style Looney Tunes thing,
Yeah.
and I didn't know what it was, but watching that trailer and finding out, it's like, oh, Wiley
Yeah.
Cody just bought some defective products, and a cheesy TV lawyer is going to get him money. And I'm like,
I'm in.
I can
I'm
do
in
Blake
for this.
Streisand
I also like that
affected
John
this film
Cena's.
into a pole
Yes,
position.
John Cena's like the
Yes.
head of Acme, or at least the Acme's
Yeah,
lawyer.
John Cena is the bad guy.
He's the lawyer. I'm
This
pretty
is
sure
gonna
he's
be
the
good.
head honcho lawyer.
Yeah,
I'll take any chance to see John Cena be campy and goofy.
Yeah, I
which
agree.
Clearly, this is going to be it.
I agree. Speaking of campy and goofy, Evil Dead Burns. Did that move the needle for you in any way,
No. Don't care.
Eric?
Kind of. Like
Eric was sitting on a vibrator during the showing, so that helped.
I mean, I have to imagine that the people. Oh, so this came out. You sent us a link, Casey.
Yeah.
It's worth noting on the pod that this caused people to get the flutters, if you will, or just being
Just
more,
say it right. They orgasmed while watching.
orgasm while watching it. And I have to imagine that that's because the
lot more
subwoofer was
questions.
under their seat.
Maybe.
Yeah, so, yeah,
that's the only reason I can
The
think
direct
of.
quote was Evil Dead Burn teaser in theaters gave people orgasm. One attendee
4D.
stated, "My pants were wet and I made sounds. I didn't know a movie can do that to people." And I would like to say, clearly, you have not watched adult movies.
May we recommend Pornhub?
Hopefully,
Was it like one
sponsor
of
the
those
show one
4D
day.
theaters, Casey? Was it a 4D theater, maybe?
I have
So-
well, it was at CinemaCon because the trailer hadn't officially been released yet. So,
Yeah.
Someone has a
The-
kink we don't want to know about, is what that is.
or do we? Do we?
This didn't make me have to change my shorts or anything, but I am kind of curious. This looks like this is a really interesting trailer. And the way that it sets up the idea that this woman is like hiding from the evil dead spirits that are also all around her at the same time. Like it made me curious to see another trailer. How about that? I don't know that I'm fully into the movie yet, but I am curious to see
The teaser,
a more
Eric,
expansive
it's not a
trailer.
We are going to be going down an Evil Dead journey. I can predict this already.
We've already seen it, right? Isn't that Ash versus the Evil Dead and all that stuff? We've already kind of gone on this.
No,
this journey a little bit.
you did one thing. You watched
Two.
Well, did we do Army of Darkness?
We watched
too?
Evil Dead. We did Evil Dead 2 and then
Yeah.
Army of Darkness during the Halloween.
Oh, you're right. So then you need to watch the remake and Evil Dead Rises.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't need to. I don't need to. That's where I'm debating.
I
your
think
statement.
there's a good justification for it to get added to our movie.
Shut your
catch-up
freaking mouth,
list.
because what you're gonna do, what I know is gonna happen here is we're gonna do these Evil Deads, and you're gonna be like, actually, the Mummy's part of the universe, and I'll be like, son of a motherfucking bitch.
But the fact that you were interested in this trailer shows me that actually you
I
might be
think that
able
this
to-
trailer. No, what I'm saying, what interests me about this trailer is the trailer is well made. I don't know that I'm interested
It
in
is
the
well
movie
made.
yet. The trailer is well made, and so
I can agree.
hats
I can
off to
agree
the
with that.
trailer editors and the trailer
Teaser.
production team because
Yeah.
teaser, whichever, John.
It's different.
It is technically a teaser.
I mean,
Technically.
it's a teaser trailer, so
No,
It
it's a
teased
teaser,
some
but they
people
tell
in
you
that
anything.
movie theater.
it's a teaser is still a trailer. It's just like it's an
No,
EP versus an
more of
LP.
it's more of a tasting of what is to come.
It's
Whereas
an
the trailer is
amuse-bouche.
actually an hors d'oeuvre.
All right. Speaking of tasting, let's
Oh,
talk
my
about
goodness.
the Lestat trailer, my gay vampire show that is coming back, and that makes me very happy.
He is
I
very excited
appreciate
for his
that-
gay vampire show, folks.
I'm sorry,
I-
which one of these was the one that we watched that had the YouTube commercial for ChatGPT about hanging a picture on a wall?
That would be the
made
next one. That'd be the next
Okay,
one.
that one,
I'll
that
do
one made me physically want to vomit.
It did. But
I'm like, I'm sorry,
so-
you don't know how to hang a photo?
what I'm appreciating with the way they're doing the Vampire Chronicles is
Mhm.
the first show, the first two seasons was the first half of Interview with the Vampire, and then the second half. And in between, when they came back to the season two, they did a like theater credits, and then you watch like here's your player, here are the players, and it was like an overture while you're staring at a curtain, and then the curtain rised up, and it was really greatly done. And I appreciate that they're season three. They're just retitling the show instead of Interview with the Vampire. Now it's just the Vampire Lestat.
You
I
mean they're
assume that'll be
re-signing people to contracts
yes.
under different title?
They probably are. But what I like about it is in those little segments, the two seasons, because I assume this will be broken into two seasons. There's that book, and so you're getting the little segments. So to me. It works out really well. I appreciate what they're doing. I think he is a great Lestat. I liked him way better than the one in the movie, and I think Louis is significantly better in the TV show than the movie cast. Come at me, all you Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise lovers, but this show is cast way better.
What I will say in defense of the movie, at least, is
Mhm.
that while I understand that it may not be everyone's cup of tea, nor am I going to argue that it's the best performances of these characters, to your point,
Yeah.
we can all at least agree Tom Cruise did a hell of a good job with it.
No,
This was one of
I
Tom
agree.
Cruise's better roles that he pulled off. It was something very unique and different for Tom Cruise at the time, and that
Yeah.
was
True.
even still as pleasant to see him pull off compared to just another airline pilot fucking
Better than
killing
the
it in the
Mummy.
movie. Yeah, exactly.
Agreed, especially since we watched that for in our 31 days of Halloween.
Hmm.
I completely agree. Tom Cruise is good in that movie. And the problem with that movie is they were trying to condense it down to 2 hours, and it feels rushed, as we talked about before. It's a very rushed movie, and the TV show can at least expand on it. And so I'm a big fan of the show. Lestat's coming out. It took us fucking forever because Prestige TV is not every year. It is every 3 4 years. Fargo every 7 years. It feels like in between seasons.
Have they talked
Noah
about another
Hawley.
Fargo coming? Is that even still going? Fargo?
Supposedly we're getting another one, but Noah Hawley, I love
Oh,
you,
Holly.
but you are writing articles for papers now. Can we get back to TV, please? I love that you're a journalist and writing editorials. Can you please get back to Fargo? I love Fargo.
Damn it, Noah.
I know. Anyway, Fargo's really good. I recommend that. All right, last trailer. Last trailer we're going to talk about. This one dropped yesterday. It was all the rage. Did Clayface move the needle for you?
No,
Nah,
but I'm glad to have seen it.
Okay.
I get it. I'm glad it's connected, but to me, Clayface will always be connected to the movie we're talking about later in that universe of
Yeah.
the animated universe. I always admired that interpretation.
So
Supposedly
I
this movie's
understand that
gonna.
they're trying to get close to that.
I was gonna say they are trying to do Feet of
I know.
Clay. Is
I just
basically the
don't
idea.
know if it really works for me in a real world environment. It's like something that's so cartoonish, maybe you should just leave it there. But
So
we'll
tying
see.
that,
I
and
mean, we'll
then
see.
so tying that, and then I'm gonna go to Eric because I know you're trying to say something. I just don't want to lose my thought. What I appreciate for this is we've never had a Batman that has fought the fantastical characters
Mhm.
on screen, on film screen. Animated, yes, but on
uh,
movies, nothing that's truly fought the fantastical characters. We could talk about that when we get to the next movies soon, but we've never had one that's like a meta human. This is the first time we're actually getting that, and this is tied into the DCU, which does mean that this Batman fights metahumans, which opens up the door because Matt Reeves's does not. Nolan's did not.
True.
but I,
Even
I I guess I would question the one that comes to mind primarily
you're
is
gonna say
Mr.
poison,
Freeze. No,
but
Well, Poison Ivy too, but Mr.
well,
Freeze more so.
Poison Ivy, the way they did it, she did not actually control plants. She more of could do pheromones and had poison skin. That's the closest you get. Mr. Freeze is at least kind of grounded in reality. You could, in theory, make a gun that could, in theory, freeze someone.
But you could not yourself be in a frozen state through, things like why is his skin like he himself is living based on fantasy ideas.
He is,
right?
but
Hey,
he's not.
we
But,
could actually save this for Batman and Robin.
yeah, let's come back to. We'll circle back
All
to
right,
this.
all
We'll
right.
have this
Well,
conversation.
it was coming down to the Clayface.
We're
and whether or
coming
not.
towards it.
Yeah,
But I
but
mean, we're headed that direction.
but this we're finally going to get to see, like, this means that we have a chance to see Man-Bat on screen for the first time. Actually, maybe see Poison Ivy that actually can control plants. A really cool version of Scarecrow that can go further than they've ever gone before. So there's some things that they can do with this. And if they're going to go
I will
that
say-
route, then what other characters could they actually do? And James Gunn seems to be doing fun things.
For me, my favorite Clayface is Alan Tudyk from the Harley Quinn show.
Yes, he is a really good one.
The actor Clayface,
Yeah.
and the thing like that. It's wonderful.
Which I believe
But I
is
love an Alan
technically
Tudyk anyway,
I
so
think it
that's
is still
great.
technically the same character because there's like 3 Clayfaces. I think that Clayface's heart
Is he an actor still? Is Clayface always an actor?
Basil Carlo was, and Matt Hagen was. I think the third one was not.
Wait, there were 3 different Clayfaces?
Yeah.
Like people who became Clayface?
Yeah.
Interesting.
The first Clayface wasn't like the big mound of mud. So there was a different looking style and interpretation. But I'm excited that they're going with this. My concern is this is taking place in Gotham. The fuck is Batman? Where is Batman? Is Batman going to show up? The whole movie, I'm going to sit there and go like, is this where Batman shows up? Is this where Batman shows up? They teased Batman. They found a Batarang. Is this where Batman is?
I mean, they're going to... You think... Have they already said it's definitely not going to have Batman?
They've alluded to this is not going to have Batman. Because they haven't cast Batman.
But I mean, couldn't one make an argument that this is happening even before year 1 of Batman? Like Batman,
Yes,
like Mask of
that's my
Phantasm
hope.
year 1, so arguably, right?
That is my hope, is that
Right, these sort of things keep happening more and more, eventually causing the need for someone greater than a police force, right?
Yes.
Which is a vigilante who's willing to take his, because I think part of what has always driven the Batman origin story, right, is that Gotham's just a crime hellhole, right?
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that. That's I'm not against that as an origin part of the story or anything. But I think that I think as we see the rise of metahumans in this James Gunniverse of DC, then I think you have to have a Batman who's responding to that as much as he's responding to just bad crime, right? Because I think just responding to bad crime gives you the Daredevil basically. Right. But when you start having these wildly fantastical villains, that's when you need someone to dress up and be wildly fantastical themselves. Yes. Right. And I think that's because really to me the origin story that we'll see soon, with going back to Nolan and stuff, where Gotham's just a hellhole of crime, and so therefore this guy thinks he's going to scare the criminals by looking like a bat, is always, to me, it's a little fantastical, right? In itself. Like, okay, that's silly. Like, I get it, fine, but like, you could just as easily, yes, we'll talk about in this movie, throw on a black, balaclava and go beat the shit out of some people, right? Yeah. Like, and achieve the exact same thing. So once you start getting to the idea that you need a Batman with bat toys and Batmobiles and bat choppers and things like that, when you need a fantastical hero is only because you've had fantastical villains. And so I am hopeful that this helps drive that narrative at the very least, even if he's not in it.
My hope is that it will start off with like the year, and it's like 5 years ago, so that this is like right before Man of Steel. Maybe because didn't Man of Steel had like there was like a counter on it. It was like days of metahuman existence. I would love if this one started off with that. On the first one, because it was like 5,000 years ago, we didn't know metahumans were around.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I know. I thought you meant like up in like the top of like one of the news reports.
No, it was at the very beginning of the movie. I'm hoping that this movie will start off with 5 years before.
Do you think that could be a trope? Is that going to become a trope of the Gunniverse, which is that we're going to have this kind of prologue text every time?
It would make sense for any time that we're trying to explain why Batman's not in a movie or why Superman's not helping. If they're going to do these villain origin
or just
things,
an origin idea,
let us know that like, okay, Superman was 0.1 or 0.0 and everything after is going on. So now here we are. This
Meta
is
Zero,
Meta Zero,
Metahuman Zero.
Anyway,
whatever you call it.
I'm hoping that's the case. I do think this trailer looks really cool. It does look like body horror, but It's not the type of body horror that I think is going to bother me because I know he's made out of clay. So I think I can, because when he wipes his face, it's not like blood everywhere. At least it looked different. It
It'll it'll be
mentally,
curious to see how much it leans into the horror idea of it, right? Because
the beginning of that
I mean
trailer certainly did.
he's a villain for sure, and
Yeah.
and I'm curious to know, is the horror going to be what's done to him or what he's doing to people, and
I
that's
think
going to
all
be
the
the
above.
horror that I'm questioning.
I think all of the above. My other thing is, are we going to try to make him a sympathetic villain,
That's what
or
it seems like.
is
How do
he
you
going
not?
by the end? Is he going to be like a truly horrific thing that is out murdering people, and then it ends with the bat signal in the air or something? Like,
Well,
how does
I
it?
think this raises the frustration or possible redo of the Joker stuff, right? Which
Yeah,
is like, how do you turn a villain of this caliber into a hero or a sympathetic person at the very least without essentially accepting the horrors that he's doing? You know, just like how do you allow Joker to be someone you're like rooting for, yet also having to show hopefully how horrible
Oh,
he is.
I
that's when you have to do White Knight.
yeah, I think what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to do a little bit like The Fly, where he is sympathetic to a point, and then
Mm.
the monster takes over.
Ooh, what if this is like, I mean, we haven't watched it yet for the other pod, but the substance feels like it's gonna, has this idea. He just keeps getting Botox and Botox until he's looks maxing basically, and it goes wrong,
Yeah,
right? And so we
that's
are on board with him until he himself is wronged by overdoing it, and he goes on his streak. Like he has to turn, maybe, I
well.
guess, by the end.
I'm also hoping that as the process of his brain is becoming the clay, that is also warping his perception, and that's what's causing him to go down.
Interesting. Okay.
We'll have to see where it goes. All right, let's get into some quick hit news.
Smooth brain, isn't that what we used to call it like 10 years ago,
Sure,
5 years ago?
sure. All right, Hard
What
Eyes
no, just
2
me. Okay.
is coming out, and it will release on February 11th, 2028. That's Hard Eyes 2. I'm very excited for that because I really liked Hard Eyes 1. That is the horror movie where it is two movies meshing into one. The main characters in the movie believe that they are in a rom-com, and the movie plays like a rom-com. But then the killer is in a horror movie, and at some point in time, those clash, and it's fantastic.
Hmm.
Highly recommend it.
All right.
Next up,
Mhm.
there is more Spider Noir things or Spider-Man projects in the works at Sony. They're going to do multiple Spider-Man projects similar to Spider-Man or Spider Noir, which has me excited because we could then get Spider-Man India. We could get Penny Parker Spider-Man. I'm fine with these live action little short things. Bring them to me. We talked about this, God, a month ago now. When did we do this? When did we cover The Shadow? Is that a month ago at this point?
Oh,
At least.
more, a little bit, month
Maybe
and a half, probably.
month and a half to 2 months ago. If you
Because it would have been
remember,
5 movies ago now at
yeah,
this point, 5, 6 movies.
if you remember when we talked about that, we talked about how they got into this whole kick of like trying to do pulp characters back in the
Mhm.
day,
Yeah.
and how it didn't work. And we were like, maybe if they would have done some of these as TV, yeah, they shouldn't
Yeah.
have listened to us because we're now getting a live action The Phantom series.
Arr.
I know.
Well,
I heard that was
all right.
coming.
I'll be curious. It could potentially work. Again, these things to me work more. I don't know the Phantom storyline as well, but this is what was the one I always consider the DC universe. I always say they need to do that in as like a 70s
The
set.
Spectre.
The
This will
Spectre,
be
right?
different.
They needed the Spectre as a 70s set, um what do you call it?
Don't
Procedural,
give away our
right?
idea. Don't give away our idea.
But
James
I
Gunn,
think
we're
that
coming to you.
but so this isn't going to be that because I don't know the full story of the Phantom, but I don't know. Could it be a procedural type show? In
No,
which case, maybe it could
No.
work.
no.
Okay. Okay.
No.
It's a
All right.
guy who
Never mind. Bye.
it's Batman in a purplish leotard that looks kind of like Rey Mysterio Jr. and he's got a ring that's a skull.
Well, he does fight poachers.
Yes, he fights poachers. Um, speaking of
He can arrest
poaching,
Eric and Don Jr.
speaking of poaching, I Am Legend 2 is officially happening, starring
Why?
Will Smith and Michael B. Jordan.
Hi, whoa, what?
Yep.
Oh God, he's like a ghost, isn't he?
Fuck if I know. I have no idea. I haven't
No.
seen I Am Legend since it came out in the movie theater.
I haven't
Speaking
seen it
of
since it came out either.
speaking of movie theaters, Avengers Endgame is
It's like a
getting a
book series, isn't it?
theatrical. Is
I Am Legend?
that might be
It is a book.
Avengers Endgame is getting a theatrical re-release before Secret or before Doomsday, which makes sense because they've said Doomsday will take place immediately following the events of Avengers Endgame. When they re-release it, they are including new deleted scenes and other surprises for you.
I guess I'll have to go see it.
So I will be seeing Avengers Endgame in the movie theater again.
They're not, by the way, they're not moving. They're not moving off their date.
Oh, Doomsday?
No, they're not. They've refused.
Yeah, it's going to be the others that's going to move off.
No, so Dune, I think Dune's not moving either.
Dune's going to move.
All right.
There's no way, especially since they're going to be potentially changing ownership at that point. Dune is going to move. Dune will blink.
Let me ask. We got to ask the question. Let's say Doom does not move. Who gets cannibalized?
Dune's going to get hurt.
Probably.
It's going to be everyone and their mama's going to go.
Not Doom?
It will not hurt Doom. Everyone and their mama's going to go see Doom. I guarantee it. Dune is going to get. I
don't know. Everyone thought that about Fantastic Four, and it I wouldn't say it underperformed, but
Fantastic Four is a different beast.
No, perform.
Fantastic Four is a different beast. Doom is going to have Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. back. The trailer they showed at CinemaCon had Gambit fighting Shang-Chi in it. It had Captain America meeting Thor again, and Thor's like, I don't know, is this really you, Cap? And holds out the hammer, and Cap grabs the hammer, and Thor's like, it's you! Like, this movie will make all the money. Everyone's going to want to see it. Dune, the first two Dune movies are great movies. I love those two movies. I think they are fantastic. Visually, they're just stunning.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way people are going to be like, I'm going to go see Dune today instead of Doomsday.
That's sure. I just need them to pick a time because I'm planning to meet my brothers to go see this. So if they move it up, it's actually better for me.
I think they're going to move it forward probably 2 weeks. Because they don't want to do it 1 week, because if they do it 1 week, then the
drop-off
will be even worse. They need to keep
if they move it up 2 weeks, that makes it easier for me to not interfere with the Christmas holidays.
Yeah. If we were to go and look at Calci, that's either a bet's being placed on that.
And I would say
talk to me about your money is probably safer to say it will move up 2 weeks. Just saying. You know what I think won't move up 2 weeks? The Call of Duty movie that will release on June 30th, 2028.
Jesus.
Yep.
All right.
Just going to go see that. Speaking of Call of Duty.
You know what? If there is like a Call of Duty, like, there's like a storyline like Call of Duty 2 or something too, like a Modern Warfare 2, I think it is. Yeah. There's some pretty popular storyline that I could see them adapting. If that's the case, that would be fine.
I'm sure that's what they're going to do.
You're okay.
Speaking of,
because once you start getting into those, they're so cinematic anyway that if you actually play the storyline of those games, you basically get like 3 missions and then 6 hours of movie.
Yeah. Speaking of Call of Duty, Xbox has officially decided that they fucked up. And after they fired Phil Spencer and they hired the new woman, she I don't know her name, sorry. She is basically admitting that they screwed up, and they are dropping the price of Game Pass. They had raised it to $29.99 a month. It is dropping to $22.99 a month. The concession with that is you will now have to wait a year before you get Call of Duty added to Game Pass.
Fair enough.
So, I'm fine with that, quite honestly.
I canceled my Game Pass shortly after the hike, so maybe it's all because of me.
Why
they're trying to get you back.
It's all because of me.
They are doing this.
I won't lie. I have not picked up my Xbox controller, let alone my Xbox or anything. I haven't played Xbox in over a year. It's been like a year and a half, maybe even.
Speaking of a year and a half, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem 2 will be coming out at some point in time, and they have officially said that Shredder and Krang will appear in the movie. And to that I say, well, no shit.
It's about time. They didn't appear in the last one?
No. And I knew they were going to appear at this point. You can't do the Turtles movie without Shredder. Speaking of movies and Paramount, World War Z is officially getting a sequel.
Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of sequels and things that John wants,
he's on it.
I am.
Moving
John,
fast. Moving
this
fast.
one is for you because I know it's your favorite movie of all time. It is the movie that inspired James Cameron's Avatar. Well, they heard you, Dr. John, and they are
I didn't
going to give
ask.
you that live action version
Fern
of
Gully?
Fern Gully that you
Fuck
always wanted.
no.
I didn't.
No.
They didn't need to listen to me about that. They could just not.
You know what
No.
I really want to know? We should put the Fern Gully movies on because I just want to know what Fern Gully 2 actually is about. I don't know anything about Fern Gully 2.
It's about the electric boogaloo.
If that's what it was called, I would probably do it. So a little bit of breaking news as it's happening because my
Solar
phone
powered boogaloo.
is
Wind farm
blowing up.
boogaloo.
Here we go. Clueless sequel series is no longer moving forward at Peacock. That got canceled. They're going to shop it around. So no
Oh,
Clueless for
crazy.
you. I'm very sorry. But Dr. John, because I just brought up a painful memory of yours of Fern Gully and your dream of it, I would like to correct it and make you happy. Watch his smile, folks. I'm going to put a smile on Dr. John's face.
Oh Lord.
Dr. John, Assassin's Creed Black Flag is officially getting the 4K HDR revamp of it. They're remaking the game from the ground up. Assassin's Creed Black Flag
Probably one of the
resynced.
best. So yeah.
Yeah.
I
And the
actually saw an
first
article on
trailer
that
is
yesterday.
actually out.
Is
They
it
just
called
dropped
like
the first trailer.
resynced or something like that?
Yeah, resynced. Yeah.
Yeah.
The first
I,
trailer
I
is officially dropped as we were recording.
I'll probably get it.
So
I'll probably
just
get
wanted
it.
to.
I'm not gonna lie, because like I really enjoyed that game too.
That was a great game.
I don't know if I consider it the best game in terms of like storyline or
Nope,
even
definitely
play
not.
style, but it
No.
is certainly one of the most fun games to play.
Yes.
It holds that heart. It's also one of the for no, I remember getting a platinum. It's one of my only
Yeah.
platinums, I think, of period, let alone
Yeah.
I
Assassin's
think,
Creed.
well, I don't know. I honestly think that the one I think I had the most fun playing was
You
Odyssey.
no, you know which one I like the most.
It's a great story. I
I'm
love
very
the
vocal
Odyssey
about the
map.
one I like.
Odyssey, I
I love
like
the Odyssey
Odyssey
map.
because you could get into those like melee fights in like combat and pick a side.
Mhm.
That was one of my favorite things about being in the Peloponnesian War.
I think
Odyssey
the
was a beautiful game, and I enjoyed the map, and it was the
Are you
same thing
Valhalla?
with Valhalla. But no, that is not my favorite. John knows my
Are you
favorite.
are you are you Assassin's Creed 3 with the American Revolution?
Nope. Although
Is that
that's a
it?
good one too.
That's a good one.
Syndicate, the one in London where you
Oh
get
yeah,
to
that's
play as
that might be
That
my
better.
is
favorite.
that is a really fun. That would to me that would be the if they were to ever try to adapt another Assassin's Creed into like live action, that's the way to go is
Yeah,
Syndicate.
I love
Syndicate makes the
Syndicate so
most sense.
much.
You could even have Syndicate happening like with references to like the French Unity one
Yeah.
at times. So I think that would be a lot of fun.
Well, they are making the
A little
TV
bit
show,
different,
so we'll find
but
out.
yeah.
So,
It'd
Eric,
be it'd be Peaky Blinders with more murder.
yeah, Eric, you asked about Wonka, and I know that you were excited we're getting Wonka
I
too.
don't know. Yeah, I asked. I don't know about excited, but go on.
Well, I think I might have mentioned this last week, but I've gotten a tiny bit more on
Uh-huh.
it. We are getting a new Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, with Taika Waititi playing Willy Wonka. It will be animated, and I'm gonna read you verbatim
Oh
what the
Lord.
description is.
Oh Lord.
And then I want to just everyone watch
Oh
Eric and
Lord.
John's face because it's going to be amusing. The film follows Willy Wonka as he returns to the factory after years in prison for turning a child into a blueberry.
You know what would be better? Have you guys ever seen this? Someone made a skit.
What about Veruca Salt? Who like did she make it out of the tubes? Sorry, go
Well,
on,
but
John.
you know, here, okay. So someone did a skit one time where it's like the end of Willy Wonka, and he's doing the little bit where he's about to like have Charlie's grandfather and him sign
Yeah.
over, and Oompa Loompa points, and he's like, "I'm in the middle of a song," and he's like, "Sir, the Epstein files just dropped." He's like, "Oh, give the phone. Hello, Ghislaine. Pick up the phone. Pick up the phone." And then the Oompa Loompa comes back in. Something 1997 airplane to the island. He's like, "God damn it!" And then he gets Charlie to try and sign a document that takes over his whole identity and to get out of it.
It's a
It's
very
quite
weird
funny.
sketch that you watched there.
That was a fun skit. That was hilarious.
Speaking of something that's not fun, I have some downer news. A crew member on the How to Train Your Dragon 2 has suffered severe injuries following an accident on set. A special effects technician severed multiple fingers on one hand involving a saw in a workshop.
Wait, where was this? Which
How to
show?
Train Your Dragon 2, the new live action movie.
Jesus.
I almost got my finger like
They
right there.
if I were that guy, I know like this is hopefully he's okay otherwise.
I
I
assume
know.
he's okay
Yeah.
otherwise.
I'm guessing he's missing fingers. I hope he's getting paid very well for losing those.
Yes.
But if I were him, like in 5 years or whenever he can laugh about it again, I just tell everyone, yeah, it happened while I was helping to make How to Train Your Dragon 2. They didn't train the dragon very well in the first one.
All right, I
Come on,
appreciate
come
that.
on.
I
want to hear
appreciate
what
that.
Eric,
I appreciate that.
Eric, write that in a sympathy card for him and mail it.
All right. All right, here we
Train
go.
the dragon.
Oh,
better.
wait, even better. The sympathy, you should make it a postcard, and the postcard is like Smaug from Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, blowing fire.
Oh, what did Smog had some good lines? I'd have to remember one. I'm sure
Oh,
I
I
can
know he
adapt
does.
it.
I got one news story left.
Yeah, you
This
do.
one broke moments after we actually hit record. So I was saving it. The Warner Brothers shareholders have officially signed the stuff and agreed to sell to Paramount. Now it will go through all of the regulations, through the EU, through all the states' attorney generals, to see if it can be stopped or slowed down in any way.
So it'll pass through US at the moment, like, and that's part of it. They're trying to move fast here before
Yeah.
any other people have the opportunity to step into power and say no. But what about the EU? Do we think this is going to cause issues with the EU?
I don't
Possibly.
think they can formally get it until everyone agrees. So I think the EU can drag it down, and the states' attorney generals are going to slow
Yeah.
this down to a crawl. And there's been rumors, Netflix has denied it, that they are taking some of that money that they got. I mean, we know that they're taking some of that money and buying back their stocks. That's a normal company thing. But apparently, they're taking some of that money and they are hiring lobbyists out the ass to go and gum up the works, like just dumping money into lobbyists to mess with them.
I can believe it.
So I think this is going to last a little bit, but we know that Paramount wants this before the midterms because they are going to flood the zone with every political thing they can to make it look
sure.
like Trump and the Republicans are being screwed over. And for more on that, check out our ongoing series, Not Funny Politics, starring Dr. John and Eric.
Whoa, hold on. No. Don't promise me anything. It's either all of us or none of us, because I'm not doing that.
No, we see that you are listening to Not Funny Politics, and we want to say thank you. We appreciate it. But what we appreciate
I also want to say,
more-
I'm sorry. Are you okay?
Yes, as well. What we appreciate more is that you go to all of Eric's libraries that he recommends and tell them that Eric sent you. And boy, does he got a new fun
Tell them the
one
Not
for
Funny
you
Guys
today.
sent you, unless you guys don't want to, don't stand with me on these, in which case we
No,
got to
yeah.
fight.
Well,
the Not
Eric-
Funny Guys sent you.
Eric, can you give us a new library?
I will give you a new library. I will give you a new library in a place that we have had several other libraries at this point. So I apologize, folks. But if you know already, then I am trying to hit the libraries closest to our Batmans. And so this week we find ourselves at the Westbury Memorial Public Library in Westbury, New York. I believe that's on Long Island. And the zip code there is 11590. So 11590 zip code, those keeping me honest. The Westbury Memorial Public Library does not have a great history section on its website, and I had struggled to find history about the library itself. However, there are elements of the library that are worth noting, and one of the main ones is the Children's Library. So let's talk about the Children's Library, which is incorporated as part of the Westbury Memorial Public Library. So the Children's Library, Robert Bacon Memorial, opened its doors on June 24th, 1924. It was a gift to the community by the Bacon family in memory of Colonel Robert Bacon, the Secretary of State and ambassador to France under President Teddy Roosevelt. After Colonel Bacon's death in 1919, his widow Martha wanted to pay tribute to her husband. In keeping with his desire to be an inspiration and to awaken big ambition in young people, Mrs. Bacon decided to build a memorial dedicated to children. Therefore, Mrs. Bacon hired a local architect, Julian Peabody, to design the library and used Colonel Bacon's library at Old Acres to essentially help establish it. That was the Bacon estate in Old Westbury, and that was the model. right, for what would become the library. On top of the library sits a family of 5 metal owls. They are perched on a gilded weather vane of the building's white belfry. I bring that up because they are also part of the logo when you go look at especially the children's library logo through the website. The website does have a lot of great resources. There's history of Westbury, so I do not want to completely tell you not to go check out their website. I just wish it had a little bit more information about the building itself. But they have that. They also have a historical cottage, which I couldn't get into a ton of information on, but I'd still recommend looking at that as well. The library was originally endowed and operated as an independent institution for 40 years, the Children's, of course. In 1965, the Children's Library became incorporated with the Westbury Memorial Public Library at the time through a school district vote. The library was renovated total in 2005 and includes a mural by Sal and Nancy Mocha. Or Moshe, I apologize, however, I'm mispronouncing that, but it's Moccia, and that reflects the folk tales and the cultural background of the children of Westbury. So really neat. Certainly go check it out. It sounds like it's a great campus in general. It's got a couple buildings probably, and a lot of different sections to observe. And obviously, it looks like it also hosts a ton of daily events for you to indulge in as well. Now, as I mentioned, this Westbury Memorial Public Library is the library that I can believe to be closest to our current Batman of the day. Our Batman of the day, we are watching Batman Mask of the Phantasm, is what this relates to. And that's an animated Batman, which means we get to visit Kevin Conroy, an American actor who voiced Batman for a large chunk of things, and who many people, myself included, kind of consider the voice of Batman, and certainly the voice of Bruce Wayne. I think he has one of the best timbres of anyone who's played Batman in those roles, and his voice was is now synonymous with Batman, at least when I read, right, when not watching another actor portray. Um, so Kevin Conroy was an American actor. He appeared in a variety of stage performances, television series, and television films. Obviously, he became famous for his voice work. Conroy earned fame for voicing specifically the DC comic superheroes Batman in various animated media, and that began with the Batman the Animated Series debuting in 1992. They say, though I think it may have moved earlier. He moved from Westbury. He moved to Westport, Connecticut when he was about 11 years old. He did have 3 older siblings. Conroy also held dual American and Irish citizenship. Now, due to the tumultuous environment in his home, Conroy lived with a family friend during his last year of high school. Ultimately, Conroy's father was an alcoholic, which led to that tumultuous home life. Conroy himself moved to New York City in 1973 when he earned a full scholarship to attend the Juilliard School's drama division, studying under actor-director John Houseman. While there, he roomed with Robin Williams, who was in the same group as both Conroy and Kelsey Grammer. So all 3 of them in the same sort of class grouping there. In a 2016 interview with the New York Times promoting the animated adaptation of Batman, The Killing Joke, Conroy revealed that he was gay. As part of DC Comics' 2022 Pride anthology, Conroy wrote Finding Batman, a story that recounted his life and experiences as a gay man. It received critical acclaim upon release and posthumously won Conroy the 2023 Eisner Award for Best Short Story. Conroy himself, unfortunately, did pass away in November of 2022. And I don't want to put you on the spot, Casey, but you actually have a personal keepsake from Conroy. I'm guessing you still have it, which was a cameo. Do you still have it?
Of course, I still have it. I have a cameo. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law got it for me for my birthday, before our first child was born. And
Yeah.
it was supposed to be a simple happy birthday, and then he talks for 3 to 5 minutes on fatherhood.
Right, and the fact I remember specifically it started as a birthday message, but also became him really congratulating you
Yep.
on becoming a new father at the time. So that was
Yep.
wonderful to hear. So good. I'm glad you still have it. Hopefully you'll be able to keep it forever. Um, the Westbury Memorial Public Library, heading back there. It has, let's talk about its hours. So it has 3 different hour sets. So I will read them all. The adult library hours, the main library, if you will, is Monday. You can get there between 10 a.m. and 9 p.m. Tuesday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. So an hour earlier, Tuesday to Friday. I agree. Sleep in that extra hour on Monday. Saturday, you can get there between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. And then Sunday, they are open, but only for specific programs. So there's not a general admission on those Sundays. The Children's Library has roughly similar hours on Monday, 10 a.m. again, but they only go to 8 p.m. So they close an hour earlier than the adult. Same when you talk about Tuesday, they're open 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. again. And then Friday, they are open the same amount of time as the adult, Friday to Saturday. Friday, Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So Friday, they close extra early compared to the adult. Sunday, they are closed in general, the children's library. So programs would only be done through the adult library at that point. Also, like I mentioned, there is a historic cottage on the campus. There are some reasons to go check that out, the cottage itself. If you want to go look at it in person, not just on the history website, then you can only book it by appointment only. But in those days that you could book an appointment would be Tuesday between 5:30 p.m. and 8:30 p.m., Wednesday between 12 p.m. and 3 p.m., or Saturday between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. So those are your library hours for the Westbury Memorial Public Library in Westbury, New York, home and birthplace of Kevin Conroy, our Batman today. Now, back to you, Casey.
Why, thank you, Eric. Thank you so much. I realized that there was a news story that I forgot, and it was because you mentioned fatherhood and all that. So I just want to throw it out there super fast. They have officially said that they are making a new Child's Play movie, new Chucky movie. It will be more in the
Fatherhood.
horror vein. It'll be it'll be basically very similar to Child's Play 2, and Curse of Chucky.
Mhm.
And it will be canon, or everything before has been canon. This will be a soft reboot, as going a little bit more towards the horror stuff. He said that Mancini said that the um, TV show will, all the stuff that happened there is, in fact, the reason fatherhood got brought up is because of the of Nika. She said that she wants to be in the show. So just wanted to throw that out there really fast.
Mm.
Now, let's get over to Batman Mask of the Phantasm, movie that came out on December 25th, 1993. It runs 1 hour and 16 minutes. It cost them $6 million to make this movie, this animated movie. Yes, animated movies can cost some money, folks, if you didn't know that. $6 million
And they
to
only had
make
like
this.
11 months or 8 months to do it in, right? A rush timeline on top of it.
Yes, it was a rush timeline. Originally, it was going to be
They put it. They
part of the
came,
TV
came
show.
out in between. It came out in between season one and season two of Batman animated series. So
Yeah, it was going to be a TV thing, and then they were told
yeah,
basically, "Hey, make this longer." So
Mhm.
when it went to the movie theaters, it grossed in the U.S. 5.6 million, and then globally 5.8. I'm sure it's made its money back by now on home video. So let's us do our favorite thing, the Golden Abacus Awards. I got 3 questions for you. Can you answer those 3 questions? Eric, you might have a small leg up on this first question because you've been watching a bunch of horror movies with me, and this person was a prolific actor, prolific working actor. Dick Miller is in this movie. You might remember him from Gremlins, Gremlins 2. He's in The Burbs. He is in all types of movies. Um, he's all over the place. He's iconic. How many acting credits does he have on IMDb?
Oh, wow.
I'm
Closest
just gonna
without
say
close
142.
142. Closest without going over is the one who's going to get it.
I'm going to say 60.
60. Dr. John is going to get it. He has 185.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm just throwing
Wow.
it dark. But you said he was prolific. That's why I went high.
Yeah. He is all over the place. And if you think back to your favorite 80s movies, I guarantee you that he's probably in one of those movies. And the second watching this, he's
Like Andy Serkis today. Like Andy Serkis, what
Mm.
is he not in? You know?
yeah, he was Chucky Saul in this movie. And as soon as Chucky Saul at the beginning of the movie opens his mouth, I'm like, that's Dick Miller. His voice is so iconic to me. Second question for you, Kevin Conroy, who you just did a bunch of research on. You actually might have a leg up on this one, Eric.
I don't know.
This is unintended. Kevin Conroy went to Juilliard. Who was his roommate?
Oh, Robin Williams?
Didn't you just say that? Robin Williams
Yeah.
was his roommate? I mean, it wasn't Christopher Reeves, was it? I know they were in the same area, so I'm gonna go with that one. I don't
All
know.
right.
Christopher Reeve.
Well, um, they were friends, Christopher Reeve and him, but
Yeah,
it
about to
was
say.
Robin Williams.
Okay. I
Um,
would say I think Eric already said that. So I
Woohoo!
just knew that I knew that Robin Williams
look,
and Christopher
I'm not
Reeve were
changing my questions. If you say things during
okay.
your thing, that's all on
Well,
you. I'm not changing my questions.
I'm
That
just saying there was a whole
abacus-led
group of them
question of roommate.
who came up together.
Yeah.
Christopher Reeve,
Kelsey
Conroy,
Grammer.
Robin Williams, Kelsey
Yeah.
Grammer.
Now, if you listen to the Kevin Conroy episode of Fat Man on Batman from way back in the day when it was still an interview show, he actually did talk about how they were only roommates for a little bit because Robin Williams does not stay at Juilliard very long
No,
at
you
all.
He's got too much energy, too much cocaine to stay
Yes.
still.
Last question. This movie has Mark Hamill as the Joker in it. Surprise! If you didn't know that. Who was the original voice of the Joker in the animated series? And they actually did record a couple of
Oh,
episodes before they recast.
Oh.
God, I don't know.
And you can find clips online.
Is
Really?
it, I mean, is it a well-known actor?
Oh,
I
yes.
assume?
Very well known. Extremely well known.
Hmm.
Voice just didn't work with Joker. That's the only reason they recast.
Oh crap. Tim Curry. It's Tim Curry. I know this one.
Ooh. You know what? I like that answer. I'm going to say Tim Curry too because I have no idea otherwise. But I hope it's Tim Curry.
I remember this.
I want to hear Tim Curry.
It is Tim Curry. Tim
Nice.
Curry was. And if you watch the clips, you're going to be like, that is why Tim Curry
Yeah,
is not
it
cast.
doesn't. It somehow doesn't work, but you would think it could. But yeah,
Yep.
no, I've seen those. That's right. I remember that.
All right. Well, that means
Excuse me.
then that the current standings are Eric with 6 points, Dr. John with 10. Eric, you still have a long way to go, and there's
I
always
do,
a
but
chance
today
to come
kind of
back.
helped me level up a little bit.
It did. Thank God you took his answer and the rest. All right.
Negated his win on that.
Yes, yes. All right. So this movie was directed by Eric Radomski and Bruce Timm. I almost said Tim Bruce. Bruce Timm. It was written by Alan Burnett, Paul Dini, Martin Pascoe, and Michael Reeves.
I knew
Paul
Paul
Dini.
was going to have to be in there, of course.
Yep, Paul Dini has written a lot of episodes of Batman the Animated Series and has written some great stuff. Also, I meant to say, Eric, I have read the issue of DC Pride with his story in it. It is
I
a
remember that one, yeah.
fantastic story. I highly recommend it. The composer for this, I believe she has passed away. I'm going to feel bad when I say the late great, and if she's still alive, Shirley Walker was the composer, and I'm double checking now because now I'm questioning myself. So we're just going to check that super fast. I will point out that Andrea Romano is a very huge casting director in the animated world for DC. Shirley Walker did pass away. Okay, I was right. Andrea Romano was there, and I just want to call her out because if you watch anything DC animated, you're probably going to see her name splash across the screen a lot. And she's fantastic to listen to in interviews. Shirley Walker, just so you were aware, some of the things that she wrote the music for: Escape from L.A., Darkman, True Lies, Dick Tracy, the original Final Destination movies. She did the first five. Oh, sorry, she did the first four of the Final Destinations. If you go back far enough, she did a lot of animated stuff. She did Mystery Men, the Spawn TV show, Fear, Rasputin, Free
Mystery
Willy.
Men what was adapted for the Ben Stiller movie? Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, that
She did Goofy Movie. She is all over the place. Toys. She did that. Memoirs of an Invisible Man. So she is a phenomenal force in the music world, and it is sad that she did pass away in 2006. So I was right. I was pretty sure she had passed away. All right. The cast of this, I will read through it very quickly because I know we are on a time crunch. Kevin Conroy as Batman, Dana Delaney as Andrea Beaumont, Stacy Keach was the Phantasm, Abe Vigoda was Salvatore Valestra, Dick Miller as Chucky Saul, Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. is Alfred, who shares the same birthday as Kevin Conroy. Fun fact. Bob Hastings was Commissioner Gordon. Mark Hamill was the Joker, and you might have caught it one line during a party sequence. Arlene Sorkin, Harley Quinn herself, OG Harley Quinn, was the voice of Miss Bambi, and you can hear her voice very distinctly if you know what Harley sounds like.
Yeah.
Wait, Miss
in the
Bambi in
background.
the early party scene with Bruce where he gets splashed with the wine?
It's the second party scene. Bruce is out of the room, and then there's like a voice like, "Come back in here," and then he goes back in. The
See, I
voice
can
that-
hear, you know where I hear her is the robot, her laugh.
I'm sure that was also
And that's who I thought Miss Bambi was his Joker's
she's
wife robot. Because
she's
it
in
sound that laugh is Harley Quinn's laugh.
she might be in there too, and IMDb doesn't credit her for that, but I know for a fact
Okay.
she is in the party
Mrs. Barbie is
sequence.
the other. Okay.
Because I've
Interesting.
every time it happens, I'm always like, why is Harley there? And I was like, oh yeah,
So
wait,
I didn't
she's
catch her there,
wow.
ironically, but
Well, oddly enough.
shame on me.
All right, what do we think of this movie? What do we think? Is this any of your first time?
It was my first time technically watching it.
Really?
I
You had never
I
seen
Yeah,
this?
I didn't watch it. This was not during a time when I was watching a lot of, at least I wasn't watching this kind of theatrical. I was watching the animated series, but I didn't see this. I don't know why.
Wow.
Probably because it was in a theater. I don't know.
Well,
That's
I
shocking.
think it's
All right.
played on TV, and I think I saw it on TV at some point, but I definitely didn't go see it in the movie theater. It felt kind of new to watch it, but it also felt really familiar, so I couldn't tell
Did
It
you.
the
felt like an
twist? Did
extended
you know the
episode.
twist?
Yeah,
It
oh yeah,
was an
totally.
extended episode.
Yeah, basically it was an extended episode.
I figured out the twist halfway through, but I
About
didn't know it
halfway
up
through.
front.
John, when did you figure out the twist?
I didn't pay attention enough to catch it.
Okay.
So I didn't until the end. Yeah.
All right. All right. So tell me what you guys think. Oh, and Eric, if you were wondering, Phantasm was not a character in the books. I believe the
No.
character has been created now, but in Batman, it's a detective comic story that Todd McFarlane does the covers to. Um, they do a Batman Year Two, and
Yes.
there's a character that is essentially the
There's a story
Phantasm.
arc in that one, the Reaper.
Yeah, the Reaper, which
Yeah.
is where this was basically inspired from.
Okay,
Anyway, what'd you guys think?
I liked it. I mean,
I liked it too. I mean, it was
it's a
pretty
good
extended
storyline.
episode.
It's a great representation of and a nice 75-minute long kind of encapsulation of what was great about the animated series.
Mhm.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. No nuts. I guess.
Alright.
Well, I mean, it wasn't perfect. It was a little rushed of a storyline. It was a little goofy.
I mean, I can see
Um,
why it was almost a direct release, like
Yeah.
not even a
Yeah.
theatrical. It almost got a directed video release, which kind of
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, and then it was
But I guess
forced
it's
go
fun
where
to
it
think
is.
that they tried this out.
Yeah,
Honestly, it's kind of amazing that this was
Yeah.
during a time when something like this could be done more.
yeah.
This would never have gotten a theatrical release today.
No,
Yeah.
maybe today,
It would
but
have to be longer.
it would have to be longer. Maybe today it could, but
It would
definitely
have to
like by
be more
pre-COVID,
to
it would not have for sure.
Mm.
It would
And
have to be more action packed. I like how this is a detective story.
yes,
Which a lot of the animated series was too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the world's greatest detective for
Yeah.
yeah. They there are a couple of others that they did that were direct to DVD. There was Batman Sub-Zero, which is a Mr. Freeze story. That's actually a really
Mhm.
good one. That one I definitely recommend. And then there was Batman Mystery of the Batwoman. That's in the new art style because they changed art styles around season 3 of the show, maybe season 4 of the show. It goes to a different art style. So Batman Mystery of the Batwoman is a different art is the other art style. And then there is Batman Return of the Joker, which had an R-rated cut because I think Robin says shit, I think is what it is. And then they did an American version where they cut that out. And then I remember having a DVD that was like, oh my God, it has the original version of it. That was Batman Beyond, Return of the Joker, a spinoff from the Batman Beyond.
Well, Batman the Killing Joke in 2016 got a limited release, so it was the only one in between this and the Batman Lego movie that even
Yeah.
had any. So they've only been like 3 times total.
Yeah. And
They've ever
that was
gotten
such a
something in
limited
theater.
release. That was a
Yeah.
crazy limited release. I like
the
this
Killing
one.
Joke.
Yeah, Killing Joke.
I didn't even know it was
Yeah, I know
a
that's.
release
I
at all.
know.
Yeah, it was like a week and only like so many theaters. It was just a very
Bruce
small.
Timm's animated style really is the driving force for me in a lot of these Batman animated.
Yeah.
Oh,
Whenever I
the
can get the
animation
Bruce
is
Timm
gorgeous.
style,
Yeah.
it's the best style. And there was something about the animated series. I don't remember what season, Casey. Maybe you can help me out with this, but around season 5 or something when it became more WB and it got way too cartoonish.
That's
The animated series.
it's season 4. That's when they changed the art style. And where it becomes
I
like
stopped
it's like
liking
the
it.
Adventures of Batman and Robin, or the
Yeah.
New Adventures of Batman and Robin. I think is what they
See, that's when I
officially
stopped liking it because that took away from the grittiness
call it. Well,
of the first 3 seasons.
Those sharp lines and silhouettes, that metropolitan, what is it? Metropolis sort of design feel to it, where Oh,
Yeah,
it looks so cool. It looks like what I would expect Gotham to feel like. Like this and Tim Burton both create
Yeah.
Gotham to me.
yeah. So it's 4 seasons, John, and I'm double checking
Okay.
season.
I just know
Oh,
it was around season 4 or 5 that something
well,
shifted, and I
actually,
was not as happy with it.
Hmm.
did they
I stopped
change
watching it.
the?
I stopped really watching it because I was like, this isn't what I liked. I liked the grittier, darker elements to it because the stories, even though it was being told for kids, they had an adultish feel,
Mhm.
Mhm.
like
So
kind of
there,
invest yourself
so
in.
your IMDb's listing it weird. My DVD, it's 4. That is the new thing. It's the new Batman Adventures, what they call it. Season
Yeah.
4 is where they did in the DVD, but IMDb says it would technically be 5, although they separate them out, which is where it gets hard.
Okay.
They introduced the second Robin in that one because instead of, but although it's not Jason, they go straight to Tim.
Okay.
They do change it, but it's got
Tim was always the more kid-friendly one anyway.
yeah, they brought in Nightwing in
Batman's.
it. They the guy who was Wei Yung does the
Hmm.
voice of Scarecrow in it, and it's a very dark style. Joker went from the colorful look to like a paler color. It's very weird. I did not like it originally. Going back and having rewatched it, it's way more adult than you think it is.
Okay.
Like it is really dark
I've
and
been
really,
meaning to
really
rewatch that whole series. In fact, that might become something on the YouTube channel. I never know.
it's
You know, a
definitely worth
rewatch
the
of the animated
rewatch. I
animated
would
series rewatch.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I would totally recommend that because that's also where the Girls' Night Out episode is, where
Mm,
Harley and Poison Ivy team up and have a Girls' Night Out.
that's right.
That's where that little bit is.
I have to invite Eric on for that episode.
Yeah, there's and that's also where where they do Mad Love is in that.
Hmm.
So if you want to see the Mad Love stuff,
Which they adapted into a graphic novel.
yes.
Yeah.
It's a great show and I highly recommend anyone go and watch the show if you haven't gotten to see it before.
So I can definitely see where this fits in with that.
Yeah.
The movie fits in well with that whole thing, obviously. So, in fact, and because it's got the Bruce Timm style, I'm like approved.
There
Mhm.
was, I think it's a documentary on the first DVD set. I think it's where I saw it. Originally, what they wanted to do to do the show, normally you would draw onto white paper or the clear
Oh, that's
cellophane
right.
for it.
Yeah.
They wanted to reverse it and they wanted to draw
Mhm.
color onto black paper.
Yes.
And the studios are like, "Do you understand how expensive that would be?" And Bruce Timm's like, "Look at this example of how beautiful it will be." And
Yeah.
they were like, "Do you understand how expensive it will be?" And they met kind of in the middle, which creates the art style that you see
Yeah.
and fall in love with. And then that art style will continue over to the Superman the animated series, which does tie into
That's
this.
true.
It is also Bruce Timm style. There's a Superman Batman Brainiac attack or something like that, where they take the new style and take it over to the Superman style, which was fun. And then that will continue on to Bruce Timm's Justice League, which will run for 2 seasons, and then Justice League Unlimited, which will run for 2 seasons, which are also fantastic. And then
And his art style is just so beautiful. I mean, like
yeah,
it has such a unique quality. It's like Tim Sale. Tim
yes,
Sale had such a unique artistic style.
I
Him
would
and
say it's
Bruce
actually
Timm kind of
I was gonna
kind
say
of
it's not to
similar.
me. It's not like Sale. It actually feels a lot like Darwin Cook to me,
That's right. That's who I
because
was thinking.
Darwin's got
Darwin.
those rounded
Rest
lines
in peace, Darwin and Tim
and
Sale.
Tim
Man.
Sale.
Oh my gosh,
Um,
lost some
both of
great.
them are prolific comic book artists.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Tim's
about Darwin. I'm thinking about DC Brave New World,
or New Frontier. You
New
mean
Frontier. Yeah,
New
yeah.
Frontier is
That's right.
such a
Yeah,
fantastic book, and the animated movie is actually really good. I
yeah. That's a
recommend
really
that.
good animated movie too.
Um, Tim did come back. Oh, and Bruce Tim also does Batman or Batman Beyond, but he will come back
Yeah.
and do Bat Batman Harley Quinn. I think it's a direct to DVD movie, basically a continuation from the show,
Hmm.
using that newer art style. And what's really cool about it is they put Swamp Thing in it, and I love how their version of Swamp Thing. Also, that's the one where Harley fucks Nightwing, and it's fantastic. There's like a scene where they have to share a hotel room. And Nightwing's like laying there in bed, like, come on, we need to get to sleep. We gotta go to this. And Harley's like, well, I am a little worked up. We did just have a fight. It's like, Harley, no. And then she just drops her clothes. And you just see a back shot of like her back. And Nightwing's just like, well, I
And
am
this is the
awake.
part.
And
That
then
is the
the
part where
next morning is just hilarious.
Casey. That's the part where both these gay icons become one.
I know. It was so good. And then like
To
that
become
and what's great is like Batman sees him
one.
like the next morning, is like, is everything okay? He's like, yeah, everything's good. And then Harley like comes up, he's like, it was a fun time last night, Nightwing. Maybe next time it could be you, Bats, or something like that. And Batman's like, what? And Nightwing's like, it was fine, don't worry about it. It
Hey,
just tries to brush it off. It was
hey
no,
guys,
no.
read Batman Beyond White Knight, and you can see Bats and Harley. Not really,
It's true, but you can see this in animated form. Granted, they
That's
don't
fair.
show anything, but
Yeah.
it is not just heavily implied, it is just stated. That is what happened. You just don't watch
Yes.
the scene happen.
Yes.
And it's hilarious to watch. So
Granted,
I
when
like,
Bats does it, he does have Jack Napier in his head.
yes, that's
So,
true.
so
I do like
I just got done
that,
rereading that one, so
I do like that, as you mentioned, Eric, this is a mystery. It is trying to figure out who is killing these mobsters. And I like that even Joker's like,
Yeah.
they might come after me.
Yes.
I like that the way they try to play it. You don't know who it is. There's a couple of different things.
Yeah.
It's fascinating that Batman sees the Batmobile at that World's Fair, and he's like, "Oh, this is the future." That song, "Welcome to the Future," like plays in my head constantly. After I watch this for like a week, it always gets stuck in my head. Yeah.
Yeah, Batman's basically watching the Evil Dead trailer on that one, isn't he? He's like, "Oh yeah, fuck this woman. I gotta look at this car some more."
He kind of is. I actually appreciate that Batman for a minute is willing to give up, or Bruce is willing to give up Batman for her. Like he's willing to follow. And Alfred had that great line. Did I write it
better than
down?
Better than Vicky Vale, man. Come on.
I love like Alfred's like, I don't know, you are a model of sanity, sir. And he's like, thank you, Alfred. And he's like, now here, where would you like your tights and your whatever? I thought was great.
I do like. I feel like there was a moment where it's like, "Is this a Tula? Is that who it Tula?
Talia.
Talia al Ghul, right?"
Yeah,
And it wasn't. So this feels like a very similar storyline to that, though, where
it could
she
definitely be.
kind of knows. Like I could have easily seen her turning out to be.
That's the one thing that gets me, is like she's a really good detective at piecing this together. And granted, she is having sex with him, so it makes sense that she would figure this shit out. But
There's that.
That's what happens when he has relationships.
Yeah.
So.
this
that.
is
Anytime
why
Batman has relationships, things like this happen. Oh, you where did you go last night? Why were you hanging upside down?
why are you hanging upside down? This is why, because of this movie and the love of this movie, is why a lot of people thought for a while that Scarlett Johansson was actually going to play Andrea Beaumont in the Batman Part 2. But it's come out that she is officially playing Gilda Dent. So
better.
yes, I agree. It is much better. And then
I don't
it's
know.
been confirmed.
Gosh, now I gotta go reread Long Halloween now.
Yes, you are going to need to reread
I
that.
need to go reread that.
And it is
Because I have
official
the
that
last
he
Halloween. The
Yeah.
recent one that came out.
I know.
last
I need to read last Halloween, but I love.
Well, it
I
just
have
came
so
out.
many-
It's done.
I know it's
finally.
done. I have the singles.
Oh my
I need to get
gosh.
the graphic because I have the graphic of the others. I love those stories. I even have the omnibus of those. That's how much I love that story.
Yeah, I have.
Um,
I actually have two copies of Dark Victory and Long Halloween because I have two versions of them that are signed,
Same.
and I have
Same.
two other versions that are readable. Because the
That's
other two
why
versions are signed by both Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale.
Sale. Yeah, that's
So-
why I have the omnibus, was because I have the
Yeah.
signed versions of them. I'm like, I need a version of this I could read.
Yeah,
because I really like this.
I think
At
I have
some
a
point,
digital
actually-
version of those too. Actually,
I
so.
do too. I have the digitals. I actually need to, it's on my list to go and get actual hard copy, like original.
I need to reread.
prints.
I need to go ahead and reread it. So I'm going to reread it before I read the new last Halloween.
That's what I wanted to do too, was
Yeah.
do it before. All right. Well, we've waxed poetics on this storyline. I think it's a lot of. I did one question. I have one question. I have what I think happens. Does she die at the end?
No.
No.
That's what I thought. That's what my thought too. Is that
Neither does
the-
Joker, but they kind of make it seem like he does. So no.
yeah. But we see, because we see her thing. I think that she did actually break into the Batcave just to drop that off, and it is sad that we don't see her again. Spoilers: they don't bring her back in the stuff. It'd be fun if they did.
But
All right.
this was a great Batman story at the end of the day, nonetheless. Like I do
It
think
is,
that this is something people should watch if they have not seen it yet.
Yeah, Eric.
No, true.
Speaking, since you spoke up, final thoughts and review of our rating of Batman: Mask of the Phantasm.
I mean, final thoughts. I'll say it again. I think people should watch this movie. I think it's a good one. I think it's 75 minutes, so it's an easy one to watch. It
Yeah.
is not a challenging story, so even if you have it on a little bit in the background, you'll probably still be fine. Um, it's fun. It really highlights some of the best, I'd say animation of Batman that in my preferred style, at least in a lot of cases. Um, and yeah, so I gave it 4 stars. I like this a lot. On our list. I think this now hits at number 2.
Yep.
Um, and it is incredibly, this movie itself, maybe not, but the animated series as a whole is very
Uh-huh.
influential on the way I perceive Batman at any given time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say if we were to say the animated series as a whole was one thing, I would say it's
Mhm.
probably the best Batman product we've had by far. Like
And this movie is a
overall
great
movies and everything.
representation of the animated series. So
Yes.
that is
Yeah.
part of the
Very
charm
true.
of this movie too, I would
Yeah.
say. So
The
if you don't have
tie-in
time
with
to
the
go through
animated
3 or
series is
4
very
seasons,
important.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
this movie is enough to show you what makes that great.
And the art style still holds up. It's just a beautiful art
Oh
style.
gosh.
I've actually my the 5-year-old has watched he wanted to see one thing on Batman animated series. He wanted to see Clayface's origin because he thinks Clayface is cool. We'll
That's
see
a
how
good.
he
That's a
feels
good
after
origin
that,
story.
after he sees the trailer for the new one. But
The
he
Yeah,
animated
show the
thinks
series
trailer for the
origin
new
is so good.
one.
he loved that 2-part episode. It was really good, and that's the only thing that he's
Yeah,
seen of
that's the one
Batman
where he
animated series.
gets the stuff to remold his
Yeah,
face after the accident, and then someone pours it all over him.
yeah,
Right? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I'm remembering that now.
Because it's like they treat it like a drug where he becomes addicted because it wears
Yes.
off over time. He's like, I need more, and then they're like, fine, here, take it,
Mhm.
and they dump it down his
Yeah.
throat. All right, Batman, or Batman, Dr. John, final
I am
thoughts and
Batman.
Simmer down now. Simmer down now. Let's not go.
I gave
and
it three
rating
and a
of
half stars,
three
honestly.
and a half. All
It's
right.
number 2 for me right now, too. It's in second place pole position. Um, it edges out the Batman 66 movie just because it has more childhood nostalgia
All
for me,
right.
really. But I gave it 3.5. I mean, I love the tie-in, and just like it being an extended episode of one of the animated series, and this is right in the animated series part where that is like that was Batman for me,
Yeah.
honestly.
What
This
what
that
uh
that
what
Bruce Timm series, all that stuff, that was almost more Batman for me than the other movies.
what
You
dinged
know,
it for you down to 3.5 out of
it's
curiosity?
just that it's just like the storyline it could have been
It's a little
because it's really
slow.
just an extension of a television show.
Yeah,
You know,
it's a little
maybe
slow.
if it had been like its own thing, something really truly original,
Mhm.
like completely separate, it might have gone up.
Hmm.
You know.
All right.
All right.
But I mean, honestly, I don't mean to ding it for anything other than that. I'd still give it if it's making two over 2.5. You're good with me anyway. In my
Mhm.
rating system, if you make better than 2.5, you're probably in good standing. I'll definitely watch you again. You know, so
Yeah.
Batman Returns. I'm sorry, you're probably not getting watched again, except for maybe the Michelle Pfeiffer scenes. That's probably it.
Heyo.
I'm just saying.
For me, I really like Batman: Mask of the Phantasm. I love the show. I do think that the show I would actually recommend instead of watching Batman Mask of the Phantasm, I'd honestly
Should watch the
recommend
show.
several episodes of the show. Feet
Yes.
of Clay, the
Oh
Mr.
yeah.
The famous Mr. Freeze one that now the name is escaping me, where Paul Dini recreates Mr. Freeze. Um, the show is fantastic, and you can't
Yeah.
go wrong with that. I would actually recommend that over this. My problem with this, which again, the animation is beautiful. It is a gorgeous movie. It is slow. There's a lot of pacing issues in it. I don't know if I can
Yeah.
show this to the 5-year-old and he sit through it. I think he will lose track. He'll lose attention like somewhere in the middle. Although he surprises me and watches slower things all the time. He just watched Peter Pan for the first time and loved it. Not the cartoon. He watched the live action one with Ludwig as Tinkerbell and Jason Isaac as Hook. And he sat through that glued and loved it. I don't think he would be able to sit through this, unfortunately. And that pacing has always bothered me. Every time I watch it, even though I like this movie a lot, the pacing halfway
Mhm.
through it, probably around the time they start doing the year one, the movie starts
Mhm.
dragging. And to me, in my mind, this is a 2-hour movie because that's how it feels when that pacing kicks in. The end,
Sure.
fantastic. The beginning, I think, is great. that middle, man, there's something about it.
Yeah, the middle 30 drags for sure.
Yeah.
The
So
second round 3.
that said, I actually give this 3.5 stars. It gets a ding down, and
Right.
it seriously is that pacing, is the problem with it. Now it still gets a heart from me. I still heart the movie on IMDb. I don't have very many that I've hearted. And that animation just, oh, it's so beautiful.
See, like I think the slowdown for me, I'll acknowledge it slows down, but I kind of accept it a little bit more because it is such a noir type,
Yeah.
storyline and movie in the first place that I'm used to those noirs being a little bit slower.
Yeah. So you two are in alignment with the order. Me and John are in alignment with the star rating. My order is different. I am still Batman, Batman Returns, Mask of the Phantasm, and Batman the movie is still my order that I would go through. Well, let's see how that's going to change next week when we do Batman Forever. And God, I wish we could find the Schumacher cut of that movie. Oh, I would love to watch the Schumacher cut one day. We'll talk about the Schumacher cut next
we'll
week.
get to remember how great Seal was.
That's right. Kiss from a Rose, and you will remember
that song that never went away.
Nope,
never. It was huge.
It is
everywhere.
Worm from hell.
You know what it was? It's the Google Dolls Iris of an earlier time.
Yes. What's Penguin's line? Like, I'm gonna run this city like a bat out of hell, or something like that. Yeah. That's how I feel about the Seal song. Anyway, you can watch Batman Forever. This is the one with Jim Carrey. You can watch that on HBO Max is where you can find that. And if you want to know where you can find us, well, you can find us all over the place. We are everywhere that you can find people. Find us over on the Insta at not_funny_guys_presents, on Twitter as Not Funny Guys Pod, on Blusky as the Not Funny Guys. Find us over on the YouTube as the Not Funny Guys, where you can like and subscribe to us. Also hit that like and subscribe over there on your podcast service of choice. Make sure to leave us some comments. Dr. John, if we are holding him accountable, said last week that this should be his final week of Red Dwarf. Is that still true?
Yes, it will be. By the time you listen to this episode, Series 12 will be done. I will have one more thing though. I have Promised Land, which is technically a little spin-off that I will have to do next week. But that I actually have to get myself BritBox. I have to literally sign up for BritBox to watch it.
Oh.
So it is not available in any other way.
All right.
So it is one little extra extension I will have to do. So by the time you listen to this, I will be in the process of watching that for like my final.
Right. But Red Dwarf itself is actually officially done by the time you listen to this. Perfect.
Yes.
Well, next up, he'll be doing what he just said,
radio.
But then he'll be doing news radio right after that. So,
or as I like to say, the last time both Andy Dick and Joe Rogan were funny.
Yep. And I would like to thank all of you who are watching this video that you're watching now. Hi, I see you. Yes, you. Thank you for watching this. We do appreciate it very much. And you can let us know your thoughts on our video stuff by writing us at notfunnyguys.offthereels@gmail.com. That's notfunnyguys.offthereels@gmail.com. Let us know your questions, comments, and concerns, and we will address them. Find me over on the Twitter as Vash_Maxwell, on Letterboxed as VashMaxwell. Find Eric over on Letterboxd as Ekly, EKLY. Check out his ever-growing movie list. You will not be disappointed unless you expect him to watch new things, at which point you will be disappointed this week. But that's WrestleMania's fault. That is completely WrestleMania's fault. Dr. John, where can they find you?
You can find me over on Letterboxd at esoteric_Evans. You can find me over on Instagram at esoteric_by_design, and over on Substack at esotericbydesign.substack.com.
Awesome. You can also find him over on Thinking About Thinking. Is it Thinking About Thinking?
Not Funny Guys presents Thinking About Thinking.
Thank you. Thinking About Thinking with Dr. K and Dr. John as they are thinking about things. Find Eric and I over on Wrestling with the Horror of It All, where we are wrestling with the horror of it all. That is WWE wrestling and horror movies. But don't be confused. We do sometimes talk about the horrors that are going on in this regular world that we call life. I think that's everything, gentlemen. So thank you so much. And until next time, remember to keep it not funny.